Hello, my mindful adventurers. Today is your day for the weekly dose of the blog post. The blog post this week, this week's blog post theme is all about connecting with our environment. My environment is throwing my blanket at me. But I don't know. I don't know what I thought. I also hope that the mic is clear and you can hear me. Today I'm going to try to make this video under 40 minutes. We'll see what happens. But anyway, this week, yeah, it's about our relationship with our environment. Not just the natural environment. Of course, I really like the natural environment, and I'm advocate for the natural environment, but also the environment that we spend the most time in, and like the environment that we spend just a lot of time in. Our work. So maybe you have a long commute. You're in your car for like several hours a day, or maybe you DoorDash like I do. So I'm always in a car. It's not my car, but I'm in a car. But I still like set it up so like it works for me. Maybe maybe you go to school, setting up your desk, or like maybe you have have a desk at your job. Maybe you have an office. Maybe you don't have an office. Maybe you have a little workspace. Maybe you work in a kitchen. What you do for your apron, like the stuff that you use, your knives, all that stuff. We're talking about all that today. What what is the excuse me. I had cereal earlier and I'm just like really excited today. I've been pretty excited. So just bear with me with this excited energy. By the way, my name is Jamila. I was gonna introduce myself, but I figured since I'm doing a little break to tell you, like, bear with me on this excited energy. My name's Jamila. Anyway, I do all the editing and stuff. I want to do more editing. I want to like add more stuff into the videos, but I need to like get a mic, like a dedicated mic for this, and would like to get a computer. I have a computer, a camera, dedicated camera for this because my phone, it does a good job, but I could, I could probably just get something that's dedicated so that I could do other things. But anywho, um, yeah, I left that in there. I don't know. I'm thinking about coming up with an Amazon like wish list thing. So if you're interested in that, comment down below. Anyway, so this week, like I said, we're talking about our environment, and the blog post is titled "The Bedrock of Being: How Your Soul Weaves Your Space." Because this is the bedrock. This is the beginning. This is we talked about evolution, but we haven't really talked about our like relationship with the climate, not climate, with the climate. Well, yeah, with the universe, with the space around us, but the universe at large. Yes, the universe. But specifically, like our immediate vicinity. We haven't talked about that yet. And also like the Earth. Our relationship with the Earth. We're gonna get into that. But yes, this blog post. This is gonna be the blog post is down below in the description if you decide that you want to read that instead of watching this, because this is gonna be like kind of like what it's gonna be. Like, of course, I'm not gonna be completely like tongue tied the whole time, but definitely gonna be a more talking, conversation kind of vibe. Not the most formal situation, but of course, you want something more formal, something more with more structure. That you could definitely go check out the blog post. But you're here. You're here. You click this because you click this. You click this because you wanna see like what how does your soul like leave your space? Like, what does that mean? Like, what does that even mean, right? Like, what do you mean your soul leaves your space? Well, we are about to dive into that. All right, diving in right now, right now. So I just want you guys real quick to like look around you. I want you to look at your surroundings. I want you to like, are you? I don't know. You could be in a car on your lunch break. I don't know. You could be um in your living room. You could be in your bed. Maybe you're about to go to sleep. You could be on the toilet. I don't know. You could be anywhere. You could be anywhere doing anything at any point in time watching this video. But take a moment and look around you, like in your area. And if you're in a place that you're not normally in, right, or a place that is not like a place where you can kind of make it your own, I guess. I think that's like the best way to describe that. So like maybe you're outside, maybe you're outside like me, outside chilling. Um, but is like I just want you like if you are in a place, a place that's like your place, like your workplace or your home or whatever. Like is your space like a sanctuary or like a storage unit for like your past life, like your past experiences? And I want you to like really think about that because we get so attached to things, stuff and things that we hold on to things that remind us of when we were younger, when we experienced this, when we were that. And really, we only have the now, here and now. And I say this all the time I don't know if I say it in all my YouTube videos, but we really only have here and now, okay? We only have here and now, and we also have constant change. So the next thing I'm going to say is like, there's stuff we got to let go of. We got to let go of things and step away from stuff that no longer serves us. But, truly, like, look around. Are you surrounded by things that no longer serve you? Are you surrounded by things that don't help you or like, not highlight, but like bring out that old version of you that you no longer are? You know what I mean? Because now you're a different person with different experiences, different understanding of life. You're more mature and immature in the sense of you've experienced more things, right? You know what certain things are like, to an extent, because every experience, even if it's the same experience, is a little different every single time. It's just not possible for it to be perfectly exactly the same every single time because nothing is perfect. Anyway, but other than that, yeah. So like the first week, like I said earlier, we talked about ourselves, our relationship with ourselves, getting intimate with ourselves, understanding, like meeting ourselves at a different level than we have before. This is something that I've done recently. I've gotten to a point where I feel like I've reached the like kind of like the place where you want to be, where you're like, okay, now I can like talk to myself. I can like, okay, I'm so backlit. The sun is it's coming around this tree. Anyway, but yeah, you're like basically a different person than than you used to be. And like now I'm sitting here thinking, because I used to hold on to so much stuff. Like I was the queen of holding on to shit. Not like hoarding, but like, oh, this reminds me of like that one time that one person said that nice thing to me. I don't know, like stuff like that. It was ridiculous. But I've gotten to the point now where I'm really good at letting go of things and really good at like remaining like in the present moment. So like when I'm checking in with myself and I'm like seeing like what's going on, it's a little bit easier for me to be like, hey, like I notice that like I am not I'm not feeling as comfortable as I think as I would like to feel in a situation, or I'm not feeling I don't know, like, or I am like for now I'm excited. I told you guys like I'm communicating with you guys effectively about like a state of being. And I feel like when you're in a state where you're able to identify things more quickly, or you're more in tune with yourself, then I feel like it's just like a better state to be. Because like a good relationship with yourself starts with being really like in tune with yourself. You know what I mean? And also, why would you not want to be in tune with yourself? Like, I just feel like that's stupid to not be in tune with yourself. And then second week, we talked about tribe, our soul tribe, our community, the people around us, our romantic relationships, those things of that nature. And like I said, like having a strong connection with ourselves, we're able to then have better relationship with other people. I said this before, like in past videos, but I'm gonna bring it up again. Because when you have a better relationship with yourself, you can show up better for other people, because you're not gonna if you don't know, like if you don't know how to show up for yourself in a loving, caring, peaceful, like understanding way, then you're not gonna show up with anybody with that. Like you might be able to like fake a front for a while, but then after a while, people are gonna realize that you don't give a fuck. Like you really actually don't care. So when you meet yourself at like a level where you're like deep, like intimate with yourself, and I mean intimate on a level like you actually like I said, check in with yourself, like you make sure you're doing okay, if you're comfortable in the situation, like how do you feel, not how these other people feel like around me. Like that doesn't matter. What matters is how I feel in this situation. Like, should I even be here? This is a place where I feel like welcome. You know what I mean? And not even just feel welcome. It's like, is this a place where I feel like this is expansive for me? This is a place where I feel like I should be here. You walk into a place and you're like, man, I feel like I'm meant to be here. Like, or you feel like I should be here, even though it's kind of awkward. But I feel like I should be here. You stick around and then you like later kind of see like, oh, I see why I was here because something happened, or maybe you had an experience that pivoted your life. Stuff like that. But what I'm just saying, like, having those connections and also because like when you have like soul tribe, when you have people around you, they also help gauge you and like also help like teach you things about yourself that you never could learn on your own, because you're your own person and everyone else is their own person. Everyone has different experiences, everyone has different expectations and the way that they think. So having those people around are vital to your self growth, and also at the same time, like I said, even evolutionarily, last month and the month before, that we're very social creatures. We crave social interaction. So if we're neglecting ourselves, like we will literally like continue to neglect ourselves and like leave ourselves behind, when we should be including ourselves and being more concerned about how we feel in certain situations. You know what I mean? Because our feelings are messengers. No, they're not here forever. No, there's not. They're fleeting. They're not. It's not like they're liars. It's just that they're there to express to you like, this is something you're feeling right now. This is something that needs to be handled. Anywho, let me dial it back in. I don't know. Like, that was for somebody. But this week is all about the soil. This week is about our connection with the earth and the connection with where we plant ourselves, our physical environment, not just planet Earth. Because you can't bloom if your pot is too small, or your soil is toxic, or you're in the wrong environment. This thing, I bet you this thing is not dead. Okay, Mike died. Just switching all this stuff out. So if you're like, oh, cut, yeah, it was a cut because the mic died. Anywho, hopefully the audio is not too bad. Let me adjust this a little bit more. Okay, because I have my mic in a bucket because it's so windy out here. Hopefully that works. Okay. Back to what we were talking about, because the mic was about to die. It was about to give up the ghost. It was about to say bye. I'm off. I don't like that I can't see the thing. Hold on a second. I'm trying to like make it work for me. I'll just have to have faith. It's not gonna die. If it dies, I'll just figure it out. Okay. It'll be fine. Everything will be okay. So let's start with the beginning. Let's start with like the macro weave. Let's talk about like our weave into the earth, into existence, like who we are, because we're people, right? We came from the earth, from ashes to ashes, from ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I think that's how it goes, or dust to dust, ash. No, it's ash, dust to dust. But anyway, we're carbon-based molecules. No, we're carbon-based life forms. And you know what most of this planet is made out of? Carbon-based items. So, specifically the organic matters, right? We're mostly made out of carbon, like people and trees and plants and fungus and all that wonderful thing. We're all made out of carbon, and we're gonna go back to being carbon. Like, like everything has its what is it called? Impermanence. Like, it's not permanent, but it has its time, but it's gonna eventually leave. So we are, like I said, we're like literally biologically, we are connected to the earth. We literally come from the earth. So when you go outside, right, and you breathe in that air and you feel good and you feel like good in your soul, like it's doing something for you, that's because it is doing something for you, because your body's like, I love this. This is the earth. Like, this is like, it's like feeding your soul. Just taking a deep breath. I mean, go outside and take a deep breath. Like, seriously, pause me, go outside or open your window, or unless it's like crazy storm, don't do that. But if you can, pause me, go outside, or tomorrow or whenever, go outside and just don't tell me I don't feel good. Obviously, you don't have to take that sharp of an inhale, but if you want to, you can. If you don't, then that's fine too. Just take a deep breath and really like sit with it for a little bit and then let it go. Feels so good. So good. That's why I post. That's why I post. Yeah, most of my videos are outside. I only have one video where I'm inside. But I do everything outside because I just love being outside, and if I could do everything outside, I would. So I do. I do as much as I can outside because I do all my editing inside. But anywho, like, when we are disconnected from the earth, when we get like wrapped up in our own little man-made world and stuff like that, we have a tendency to get like not a tendency, we get disconnected from the earth, we get disconnected from the energy, we get disconnected from the cleansing, from the healing, from the goodness, from the soil, the goodness that the plants and the animals and all that all coexist and harmonize with each other. We disconnect from that because we're stuck in a box. We're in a box, like a concrete box most of the time. Concrete, wood, box, steel, whatever kind of box you live in or exist in or work in or drive. You know what I mean? It's made up of something. And it's very disconnected from the earth. It's not, there's no like, it's not like there is any, I mean, I'm not saying like, you guys, you can't have like plants. I'm getting to that. But we typically disconnect ourselves from the earth. So when you take that time outside, it literally feeds a part of you because your mind, not just mind, your body craves to like go outside. It craves movement. It craves like clean air, fresh. I'm not saying we go outside and drink out of streams, but fresh water and like that rain, like that mist, that precipitation. Like, it craves that stuff. It wants that stuff. Because it's from that. It is literally from that of which it comes. Like when you like example. So like, let's say you have something soaking in a liquid, right, for a while. Like, say you have a pickle, right? You soak it in like a vinegar brine, or whatever. You pickle things differently. I mean, I was talking about like a dill pickle, like a cucumber pickle, right? And then you take it out and then you put it in water for a long period of time. Like, all the stuff that was in the cucumber is gonna leach out into the water and get waterlogged. And that's kind of like the same thing. Like, if you want the original flavor, you gotta sit in the original juices. You can't like, it's just not gonna work. Like, you of course not all of it will be leached out, because like, that's just, water is not going to do that unless you like use something more aggressive. But like, it's not the same, right? It's not the same, and it's disconnected. It doesn't taste the same. And the same thing goes for us when we disconnect from earth or disconnect from nature in whatever way that we do that. I mean, you could have rocks in your house, dude. Like, you could do. There's all kinds of things you could do. It's not just having plants. Like, I know some people have really bad allergies to plants. I get it. I understand. Sometimes outside is just not it. Maybe you don't like the bugs. I understand. I love everything about the outside, though. So I see both sides. So sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to do all that. So I get it, but bring some of that. I keep jumping ahead, guys. I keep jumping ahead. I told you I'm excited today. I need to breathe because I'm too excited. I'm too. But yeah, so we get static in our energy. We get taken out of that source energy, not source energy, but the energy of which our bodies come from. I keep saying it that way, but like, it feels like the right way to say that. So one of the things I like to do, like, I don't know if you can freaking see my feet. I don't know, but not that I want you to, but I'm like not wearing shoes. And I'm sitting on a blanket, but like, I do come out here and I just sit on bare grass. I don't do it all the time, but I do. bare ass to bare grass. No, I'm just kidding. It's just bare grass. Or dirt. I like dirt. I've always liked dirt. I don't know. I'm a weird person like that. But I come out here barefoot and I walk around barefoot and I like ground because like literally I swear to you I can feel the energy, like even if it's just like the coolness of the ground on my feet or the hot or not hot. I don't come out here if it's hot like that, and usually the dirt don't get hot like that, and it get hot here. Excuse me, it get real hot here. But like I can feel like the temperature. I mean, that's energy in and of itself, going into my feet. But then also like I don't know, I feel like after a while I feel like physically calmer. And that's something I want to share with you guys. Like, are you like grounding? Okay, so this post is kind of like a grounding post. I have other grounding posts. I will put them, I think I have 3 of them now. Or just 2 dedicated to grounding. Well, yeah. So I'll put those down below. I think both of them have videos. Yeah, both of them have videos, so I'll link them up here. So you guys can check those out. So this is one and then the other, so you can get to them that way. Of course, the blog post also has the link to the YouTube video. Same for this blog post. If you go read the blog post and you're like, I want to get back to the YouTube video, and you lose the link or something, I don't know. The link is at the bottom of the blog post. So there you go. But anywho, putting your feet on the ground and like and like walking around on dirt and like mud or whatever is not just hippie stuff. That's not just like, ew, this peace, love, and nature, man. Like, no. It's literally this is a way to like literally discharge stress from the body and like from like the modern world, to literally so you can like ground yourself in a way that you can actually like hear the nuggets of information that your brain has to offer, that your guides have to offer, that the universe has to offer. And this is all stuff we're going to be talking about next week. But I just want to like let you guys know that's something that you can look forward to. Like if you're a person like I'm intuitive, or like you have gifts, and you're like, I don't understand why I'm disconnected, this could help you. But seriously, really, it can help you. So like, stay here for that. All right. Comment on below. Are you a friend of the Fae? Not Fae. I don't know. I'm not a friend of the Fae. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Fae. Anyway, I don't know where that came from. I don't even do research on the Fae. I mean, I think they're interesting, but I haven't done much research. Yeah, anywho. Yeah, so I'm saying. Let's hear the nuggets more clearly of the soul. I probably lost some people when I started talking about the Fae, but who cares? Talking to my people. If you're still here, I love you. Leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Hit the little bell. I don't post that often, and there's a good chance that you're seeing this way in the future. So probably like a bunch of fucking videos on here. You're probably like either binging or like watching, like taking your time. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm just talking to people in the future. Anywho, next point: the sacred container. So I was talking about the home, like I was talking about, your house, your surroundings, where you spend most of your time at, right? So this is what I keep jumping to. So I'm like glad this is the next section. Not that I didn't know that was the next section, but I just keep the whole time. Okay. So, our souls, right? Like I said earlier, like our bedrock is the blessing. So our bedrock is the blessing. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know where that L keeps coming from. I said the bedrock is blessing. I like that. I don't know where that came from. That's not on my paper anywhere. But the blood rock? The rock is bleeding? I'm just kidding. I don't know. Maybe that's a sign for somebody. I don't fucking know. But the bedrock is a blessing. That's interesting. I'm just sitting here because I'm like, I never thought about that. But yeah, I mean, when you're at rock bottom, I mean, when you're at the bottom, I mean, the only place you can go is up. I mean, I feel like that's a blessing in and of itself, because it's like you've been so like down, like now you have to go up. Like there's really no other like way. I really hope this is not really loud and windy and stuff. I'm gonna move this again. I'm paranoid. It's like not. The audio is bad. I hate when audio is bad. And I need another mic. See, like earlier when I was talking about like doing other things and adding things to this video, like I would like a new. This mic is good. This mic, don't get me wrong, it is good for the price that it was. But I would like a better mic. Okay, let me. I'll definitely, if I do an Amazon listing, I'm definitely putting a new mic on there. Actually, I already have a mic picked out. I have a whole like. I need to stop and shut up. Reel it back in, Jamila. What the fuck are you talking about? This is not a live stream. This is information. It's people that are trying to come and get it. Sorry for my shenanigans. I will reel it in. I'll reel it in. So, our soul, right? So the bedrock of being. It means, you know, your space to reflect your current evolution, right? Basically, like this is a cow. You couldn't hear it, but a cow was like, it's been screaming all day and night. I don't know what's up with that cow, but I hope they get that cow help or whatever it needs, or I don't know what's going on. But anywho, it's none of my business. But I found this pecan. I'm gonna start breaking it up. But yes. So your soul, basically, like when you evolve and when you change and when you like turn into like a new version of yourself and you like start becoming like a new version of yourself and changing into like the best version of you, like your bedrock, your rock bottom, your baseline changes, right? It changes and it reflects your new identity. It reflects your new understanding of your life and how you exist in it. So when I say like the bedrock is the baseline, I'm saying like it's the baseline to your whole life, right? What is your bedrock made out of, right? What is your space messy, right? Is it crazy? You got lots of stuff in there. Is it organized? I know my shit's not organized. My mind is. I know my mind is fucking. It's going through a lot right now. We're going through a lot, but I know like my mind's not organized. I have a new desk that I got. I keep saying it's new. I've had it for a couple months now, but it's still a mess. And I have to like be honest with myself. Like my mind is like I'm still moving through stuff, still working through stuff. It's bugging me now that my desk is like really messy, right? It's bugging me now to the point where it's like I want to do something about it. So clearly my baseline or my bedrock has like changed in a way. Well, it's not like I want it to be messy in the first place, but it's like now it's to the point where it's like, okay, my mind, like when I first got the desk, I was just so grateful that I got the desk. But now so much stuff has happened since I've got that desk. It's like literally changed my whole life. I don't know how to explain it. Like this desk, like I feel like getting this desk was like the beginning of like a whole different world for me. And it's definitely changed my baseline. Like I there's things I just don't tolerate no more. Like I don't tolerate anymore. There's things I'm more open. I don't know. Something about this desk. It's like my command center. It's like sitting at a throne. Like, and I don't want my throne to be messy, so I need to clean it up. Just being honest with you guys, like I'm human, just like you. I also have messy spaces. But because my baseline has changed, and now I'm like, okay, now I really need to do something about it. Like I'm probably gonna at some point tomorrow, more than likely Wednesday, when everything drops and everything, sit down and be like, all right, I need to move this stuff around. Where's this going? I'm sorry, I'm just like chewing on this pecan. It fell from the tree and I'm eating it. So next thing, the job situationship. So if you read the blog post from last week, then you know about the job situationship. Like a situationship, but like with your job. But this situation, instead of it being like specifically for your job, it's like kind of with everything in your life. Like, are you just like like I said earlier, are you like holding on to objects that confirm like your past version of yourself? Are you holding on to a version of you that you no longer resonate, no longer vibe with, no longer like want to associate with? You know what I mean? Because you can't really evolve if you're gonna sit there and hold on to like old stuff. I know it's weird. Like I have my bear. Like I told you guys, I had this bear since I was 8 months old. But this bear, besides it being like kind of like a safety blanket, like for me, like I love this bear. Like I want to take this bear everywhere with me. And it's not like I hide behind this bear. I think it's like cool. Because I feel like you're probably like, because if you know about bear, I feel like in a way you're probably like, well, aren't you holding on to like a past version of yourself that? But it's like that's not what bear symbolizes. Like if you, of course, if you have something like bear, where like for me, bear symbolizes a time when I was innocent, when I was a child. Like like bear reminds me to keep the innocence of a child and the imagination of a child like going. Because if I shut my inner child away, if I shut that creativity away, then I, in a sense, become a shell of myself. I'm a very creative person. I take creativity very like seriously. When people tell me that they have horrible creativity, if they have horrible creativity or their creativity is like bad, I always have to ask them like, do you like catastrophize? Because like that's fucking imagination. You know what I mean? But I take it seriously because like when you imagine things, like literally that saying, like what is it? I don't know what the quote is from. I'll have like the information here. But the quote is I think therefore I am. My brain keeps saying, my brain just says William Shakespeare, but I really don't think that's it at all. Um I don't think so. I don't know. If I'm wrong, I'll put up there that I'm wrong. But yeah, literally when you think about something, when you like not dream, but like when you're imagining stuff, like your brain doesn't know the difference between you imagining something and it like physically happening. It's crazy how your brain works. But especially if there's a lot of emotion, like if you're imagining something, let's say you're catastrophizing something, and you're putting so much emotion into it, you're starting to sweat, like it's actually happening. That right there, keep that imagination going, but for the right reasons. Imagine other things. Like take yourself out of that. So then you're not like worry about the future, because like 85% of the things that you think about don't even fucking happen. And if they do happen, they don't even happen to the severity or the extreme that you think that they do. So there's that. I just like, I don't know. But bear is a symbol of like my childhood for me. Like bear just like reminds me to take real good care of my inner child. Because some people put pictures up of themselves as children, on their like phones or like some place where they see it often. Bear is like literally just something I had since I was a child. That's been my best friend for a long time. I was the only child, so there's other. I mean, bear is like bear is multi-leveled. Okay, bear is multifaceted. All right, but I'm just saying, like for things like okay, so like for me, another thing too. I used to like hold on to crazy amounts of stuffed animals. I still have a crazy amount of stuffed animals, but these are all stuffed animals that I curated for like a comfy, fluffy corner in my house someday. with some of the blankets that I have, they're also fluffy and nice. I like that kind of stuff. I like fluffy things. I like cozy, fluffy, cuddly things. But some of the stuff, it just didn't fit that mold, so I had to get rid of it. And also, I had to get rid of a lot of things from childhood. Like I would keep like all my old toys and like school projects and shit like that. Like I started throwing myself away. It was like, oh, weightlifted. This was a long time ago when I started doing this. And now I'm really, really good at it, to the point where I'm like, I can like go through my stuff and get rid of it quickly instead of being like, oh, I remember I remember this, I remember that. So if you're one of those people, you know exactly what I mean by like, there's shit you need to get rid of, but because it has like sentimental value, you're just like, no. But you gotta put your foot down. You can't keep it in your space. It's gonna remind you of who you used to be, not who you are. And that's just gonna like keep you stuck in an old version of yourself. And you want your environment to reflect that inside. You want your environment to reflect that new I'm a gender neutral person here. I'm not saying king and queen, but monarch. I'll just say monarch. That works. You are a fucking monarch. You are the ruler of your goddamn universe. And if you keep things that remind you that you're small and that you're insignificant and that you had to like wait for someone to like tell you that you were worthy, guess what? You're gonna perpetuate that in your daily fucking life. You're gonna perpetuate that so deeply into your life that you're gonna start becoming the person you used to be again. That's just how that shit works. I've literally had to like get rid of so much shit that like reminded me of like a person I used to be, and like just move stuff around and rearrange, and just sometimes you gotta rearrange to like freshen it up. Sometimes you just gotta like they need that little bit of freshness, to your space. And then the in between spaces, like oh yeah, so the things you outgrown, like you can think of them like dead threads, because like I've been talking about weaving this whole month. So like think of them like dead threads. You want to like pull them out and like replace them with different threads. And of course it's up to you what you replace it with. But of course, if you keep holding on to that old energy, you're gonna just keep accumulating things that remind you of that person you used to be. So that's how like that's another like way like your surroundings like echo your internal state, and also your internal state echoes your external state. Like I said, I never finished earlier. I was talking about how my space is messy because my mind. I told you. Oh no, I already told you that. All right, I don't know what the fuck. Let's just go to the next section. Not next section, but the last part of this section. I know I said 40 minutes, but this is it is what it is. It'll probably be like 10 minutes over. It's fine. It's okay. You guys love me, right? Okay. The in-between spaces, so like your car and like your workspace, like that was something I mentioned earlier. You can bring like a bit of nature into your car and your workspace, like with the way that you also with the way that you have the set, the lighting, maybe like gadgets or like pictures. I know of course in cars you can't really have like pictures and stuff like that like everywhere like you could like in the office, but you can like change the scent and like the sound, and like when you use it, like the intention behind it, like instead of getting in the car and like you're stuck in traffic, you're like, I'm in this fucking car, I'm stuck in traffic. Oh, you're more like, I'm in this car, thank God I have this car to get me to work. And you become more grateful of the fucking car that you have, because not everyone has a vehicle, and some people they're stuck on the bus, or they don't have a bus and they have to like sometimes get a ride from somebody, and they have to like scrounge up for a ride, or they gotta walk like crazy distances because there is no ride, and they don't have a bike or anything like that. So and also like too, if you're more grateful for your area, like are you gonna like fill it with trash? Like you're gonna like keep it messy? One of the things I like really hate are these like these videos where it's like, oh, I got in this girl's car and it's like full of trash, and I'm thinking to myself like, that's fucking disgusting. Like straight up, if you're a person that does that, I'm sorry, that's fucking disgusting. Please stop doing that. That's really gross. You should not have that much fucking trash in your goddamn car, like at all at any point. Like unless maybe it's like a long road trip. Okay, I get that, and you've just been in the car like for several days, and you finally get to where you're going, and then you have a bunch of trash. Okay, yeah, throw it away. All right, okay, I get it, but all day, every day, that much trash? That's crazy. I couldn't. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine having that in my space. It would drive me nuts, because I'd be going out throughout my day and I'd be like, fuck, my house is not my house. Like fuck, well, I mean, if your house is messy, sure, but fuck, my car is messy. Like I have to sit in this car all day long, or not all day long, but a good amount of the day, and it's messy. And by good amount of the day, I mean because I DoorDash, so I like the car is life. But you can always, like I said, make it like your own sovereign space. Like bring in a different scent or a sound or intention when you're using it, instead of being like, this is just a thing that I use, or a place that I go to make money, or a place that I go to put in hours, or a place I go to slave away to whatever. You you can also just show up and be like, I'm glad I have a fucking job. Like, go in with like the intention to like do your best work or do what you can that day. If your best is not 100%, but your best happens to be 20 that day, 20%, that's okay as long as you give it, right? And that helps. That really helps with like your relationship with the space too, because you realize like this is a space where you can actually like be within your own power. You don't have to like completely like lose yourself in like corporate mindset or like with your boss or whoever your coworkers, colleagues, whatever. Okay. I'm hoping that point that was good because I feel like I don't know, I feel weird about that whole section because I feel like I went on so many rabbit trails. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I'll put a comment here after I watch it because I know after I watch it, it'll be like everything's fine. You did good. So the alchemy of the senses, the sonic sanctuary. So I use music to choose my own frequency when I sit down and work. So like I'll sit down and I'll pick a playlist. Like I have 30 some odd playlists on Spotify. And when I like sit down to do work, I'll like pick one and I'll listen to it. And sometimes I'll listen to like the same couple the same couple playlists all the time. But of course I like throw in a different one every now and then. You can do that. That's something you can do in order to like make a space, your space. And another thing that I want to do, like I want to get a good pair of sound, like good sound canceling, noise canceling headphones. That I can like connect to my phone and connect to my computer so that I can play video games on it and that I can listen to music on my phone and do that like over the head earphones. I love those. I have earbuds. They do noise canceling. They're okay. But I would like to get like headphones so I can like wear them for longer and I'll get like ear fatigue. But that's something I could do because I share like space. I share common spaces with people, my family, and sometimes I like want to be left alone and I don't want to hear them like talking. Like I just want to be like in my own world, that's like chilling either with no noise, obviously noise canceling, no noise, or I can have like a little bit of something playing in there and just chilling throughout my day, little quiet jazz, you know what I mean? I can play it, and then I can play my music as quietly or as loud as I want, so I don't have to be like, oh, I hear you over my music, turn it up, so that's also another thing you can also do, like if you do share a noisy space with people, or you have to like if you're just not feeling it, bro, if you're just not feeling it, like throw on some headphones. And then our words are like something I was gonna say too. Our words are spells, right? Or they're like spells for space, like when we look at when we when we speak, like it's not just I think therefore I am. It's also kind of like I speak therefore it is, because like when we speak, you're speaking things into existence. I'm not saying like every single word is like I say, oh, I fucking like I wish Samantha would turn into a goat. I don't know, some fucking random ass person, and you're like like it happens. Like no, that's not that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. I'm not saying that you could like do that. I don't know if you can. I don't know. I don't really care to know. But you're what you say is like it's molding the world that you're in. I think I said something about this either last week or the week before. I think it was last week, because what you think about and what you like talk about, like it expands in like your conscious reality, because like what you think expands. Literally, if you sit there and like think about, oh my god, every day my life sucks, this is awful, every single day it's whatever, and then every day your life is awful because you keep saying that it's awful. Hi. Okay. Because you keep saying that it's awful, and you keep saying that it's going to be this and it's never going to be good, and then you keep experiencing this bad because you're putting that on yourself. You're bringing that energy into your space, into like your existence and your way of being, and you're literally focusing on your life being shit, so you're going to draw in situations that prove that your life is shit. That's part of the magic of words. So when you walk through the front door, like when you walk through the front door, or you walking through the air, like the entryway into your space, one of the things you can do to like help with clearing energy, or like at least taking like your space back, is just being like, I'm walking into my area, like literally say I'm walking into my area and I'm leaving all my shit at the door. I'm leaving all my shit behind me. Like this is my area. This is where I feel peace. This is where I feel wholeness within myself. This is where I come and I spend a lot of my time. So I'm gonna treat this area as a sacred space for me, because my body is a temple. My body is my everything. My body's my everything. So I want to surround my body with things that make my body feel good, that make my body comfortable. You know what I mean? I don't want to surround myself with uncomfortable furniture and like weird colors that make your head hurt, and like you know what I mean, or like really bright fluorescent lights, like that puts a strain on the eyes. You want to like make your space as much as possible, of course, fit for you, fit for your body, because I said your body is the most important thing. So when you walk into your space, you want to leave all that shit at the door. You want to leave all that outside or whatever. I'm not saying when you leave, pick it up. I mean, you could, but not saying when you leave, like pick it up, but just like have that intention to leave it there, because then you spend more quality time within your space instead of like worrying about things that you shouldn't be worrying about right now. Like work can stay at work, and like home stuff, can stay at home. You know what I mean? Of course, unless it's like an ongoing issue, then things, all that, it's kind of out the window. But for the most part, when you come home, you don't have to like think about work all the time. You shouldn't have to, really. And when you go to work, your life at home, of course, is important, but like shouldn't really come in like interfere with like the work that you're doing, because the work that you're doing, I hope you enjoy it. Of course, if you don't, and of course, like I said, if it's an ongoing situation, I understand that'd be stupid of me to say like no, like no. It's dumb. So yes, okay, next part, the closing part. I told you it was gonna be 10 minutes over. I told you it was gonna be 10 minutes over. It's gonna be about 50 when this ends completely. 50, 55 probably. I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. Closing and weekly prompt. So empowerment. So I'm reminding you. So don't just clean, right? You don't just clean. You don't just clean. You don't just decorate. You're literally weaving like your internal world into your external world. Like if you like, I need to fucking clean, right? You got like I said, I gotta clean my desk. I'm doing it for myself, so I can be at peace within my body, and I don't have to like fucking stress myself out every time I can't find something. Like literally, I couldn't find this paper earlier. I was like, where is it? Where is it? And as a mess on my desk, like how am I supposed to? I don't want to be stressed. I gotta like work with myself, right? So you're weaving your internal to your external, and your external weaves your internal in a way, because like because you can be around something, like let's say you constantly are in a situation where you're surrounded by like unsavory or untasteful, that's the same thing, I believe, tasteful like surrounding, like say like you're like, for me, like I was driving this vehicle to deliver to a customer, and it was his personal vehicle that he had only for like 3 months. And it was like, not 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. And there was like soda stains and like shit in the cup holders and dust and dirt. And like it was gross. It was really gross. It was probably the grossest vehicle I've ever driven at the dealership. And I was like, and then when he gave the vehicle back, the loaner vehicle he had, it smelled like food. What did it smell? It smelled like a wet sandwich, bro. But I was in that situation. But like, if I was in that more often, then after a while, I'd be like, oh, this is fine. This is the new normal. We can just do this. No, like, because I mean, like after a while, I mean, like years, probably. It would probably take me years to get to that point, because even when I had my own car, I was never my car. If I spilled something, like I was like, I gotta clean this shit like immediately. Where I'm not getting ants in this bitch. I'm not gonna get myself so like caked up with shit that I can't use it. No, ew. Ah! So yeah, I just know. I grew up with my mom was very clean, like with all of her stuff. So like when I'm in a situation where things are like gross, I'm like, ugh. Like I'm not a clean freak, but I'm also just not a person that's just gonna be like, yes, I will sit here and lay in filth. Like no, I no, So you remember, like you're the weaver, and the walls in your the walls are your loom. Your surroundings are your loom. The outside world is your loom. If you have a garden and you sow like seed and plant into that, you're literally weaving. You're weaving your area. Your my arm, my bat wing. You probably heard that smack. Anyway, um, you're weaving into your life. So the prompt for the week. Actually, I think when I'm done, it's going to be just under 50 minutes, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Look at the space you spend the most time in. If your soul had to pick one object that truly anchors your peace, what would it be? And what is one thread in that environment that feels heavy and is ready to be released to make room for your evolution? So, literally, like, I'll use my desk as a example. So I have this little section where I keep all of my like spiritual like tools and stuff. Like I have some crystals. I have like my like notebooks and stuff, and I have like my sage and all that, and like my tarot deck and stuff like that right there, right? And that I would say that anchors my space because I also I have my like I have it next to me, and then I have this mess over here, and then I have this like clean spot right here. I would say the spiritual, like it definitely anchors the room. Like it the room. It anchors me in that space because it's like this is my space. This is my stuff. This is the things that it brings me peace and a little bit of tranquility and stuff. And I can see myself getting something else to add to that space to make it feel even more like home or more peaceful, more like it the way that I feel like it should be. And then like I said, all that clutter. There's a lot of shit in that pile of clutter that does not need to be on my desk. So those things are heavy. They need to be removed. They need to be taken and put somewhere, either donated or put away if I feel like I can use it in the future, in the near future, or I don't know, whatever. Like take care of it. And that's what feels heavy for me. So what do you think for you? Drop your anchors in the comments. drop your download in the comment. Let me know what part of you is represented in space that you dwell, and what part in your space that you dwell feels heavy and unhelpful. And leave your comments down below. Yeah. Okay. I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this wasn't like too crazy because I know like I really felt like that section in the middle was like really Jamila, what are we doing? But if you guys like this, you guys enjoyed this, you guys found this helpful, please do me a favor and subscribe and like this so we can boost it to more people and bring more people in because we're trying to build a community. And also like follow me on social. I have my link tree down below. You can also find all of my social medias in the channel homepage. You can find that information there, and you can read, like I said, the blogs down below, so you can read that. All the little grounding posts are down below too, so you can read those, and the respectful YouTube videos are also listed there. I think one of the posts doesn't have a video. I don't know. I'll put the information. I'll just say if it does or not here. Okay. And yes, I love you guys so very much, and I think I really am. I probably am going to do that Amazon list thing, and I'm probably going to put it in my link tree. So yeah, if you're looking at this in the future, like next week, like the last week of February 2026, then there's definitely one in there. Okay, I love you guys so very much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Whatever part of the 24 hours that you are, I hope that goes well too. And rest of your day. Yeah, I just said that. And I love you guys so very much. I want the best for you. The best for you. And I also want to like make some better videos. So if you guys do want to like help me out, that would be very appreciated. Like from the bottom of my heart, very much appreciate it because it's a one-woman show. Like, I'm doing all the shit. Okay, I love you guys so very much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye. Love you guys.